Hello, everybody. Welcome to 50/50 Booking. This is the May 16th edition of the show. We've just been talking pre-show about how to deal with hot food that you got in your mouth and some interesting experiences with that, because my co-host here, over here, has been doing a try something new challenge for the entire month to go with the charities doing for this month, which show us the t-shirt. There you go. Shedding in the merch. It's for the Anxiety UK, I believe. Yes.
Yep.
Just make sure I remember the right way to say the name. So basically, people, if you guys want to help contribute towards the charity, Just Giving page. Here you go. The link is in the description down below. And Aaron can tell you give you an idea just how much that's a thing, because Aaron himself has anxiety, which is probably one of the reasons why this charity probably means quite a bit to him. Like a lot of these charities do. There's always reasons why Aaron's doing the charities he picks.
Well, it's either me that's picked them, or somebody near or close to me that's had dealing with them.
Well, exactly. And my point is, there's always a reason why. It's not just something that's done completely at random.
Yeah, I mean, there is a charity coming up, the NSPKU, where I'm supposed to be doing a diet, a PKU diet for a week, but I'm gonna have to change that. I'm still gonna be doing the NSPKU charity, but I'll be doing a different challenge or something for them, because with the way that COVID is at the moment, sorting out a week's worth of that diet is going to be quite challenging.
Yeah, I mean, for us here in the UK, though, we have another restriction removal from Monday, which is nice. But there's still going to be things in place, though, for people who aren't aware. But we're at indoor gatherings now from Monday, from tomorrow, of only a certain amount of people, though. 2 households can meet indoors, etc., etc., etc. But there's still things we can't do. There's still limits on weddings and funerals and events and stuff. Still no nightclubs and that sort of stuff. There's a few other things, but not to bore people too much, because this isn't related to what we're talking about. But obviously, the other thing you can catch Aaron doing, of course, is on the Twitch. Obviously, this graphic's a bit out of date now, because Aaron can tell you a bit more about what's been going on with his Twitch streaming.
Well, I've been adopted, you might say, by a Discord group that are called the Crow Fam, or Crow Family. So they've adopted this delightful little streamer, and they're helping me to get affiliated, so that way I can help out the charities even more. And it's going really well. I've got over 100 followers now. Support by these guys is absolutely amazing. They're from all over the world. They're from America, Australia, Italy, one of them, and a few local Brits as well that I hadn't even heard of before. So one lives just down the M20 from me, which is actually kind of crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, geographically, that's quite close to you, because the M20, for those who don't know who don't live in England, basically it's in the county of Kent, which is not that far from where Aaron currently happens to be residing. Yeah,
they live in Ashford, and I live on the island of Sheppey, so it's actually pretty mad to think that we're that close.
Well, it's still Kent. It's just about the difference being is you're actually on a separate island.
Yeah, well, there is that, but it could be worse. Could be Thanet.
Which used to be a separate island, but this is not the geographical podcast. This is the 50/50 Booking show. So,
there's a geographical podcast? Or is that sort of stuff?
To be honest, I might do that at some point, because I am a geography nerd. People know this about me. I'm a history nerd, geography nerd, space nerd, science nerd. But some of the questions do come like that on sorting stuff for obvious reasons, because I like to give a variety of stuff, and obviously I try not to make them too hard, because I know what I'm dealing with.
Yep.
And that's not an insult to anyone. It's just the simple fact of the matter is I know the contestants don't know. There's a certain area of knowledge which they are at least going to have a chance with.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't ask any of you guys to tell me like the quantum fraction of cold fusion, for example.
Not even going to attempt an answer.
Right. Exactly. That's kind of my point. It's you don't do a quiz show, for example, and give people questions they could never possibly answer. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, just in the slightest like marginal kind of way.
Yeah. It's kind of almost on par with WWE booking.
It is, yeah.
And some of the creative as well. So this is how we segued nicely into talking about our actual thing we are here for, which of course is WWE.
And I've heard some rumors this week that are going to turn my dreams into nightmares.
Well, we'll get to the main thing outside of current stuff. We'll do that now. And that's Zelina Vega.
Yeah.
The thing is, if she is coming back, I wish her good luck. I really do. But at the same time, I think it's a mistake.
Do not make her a manager.
There's one particular thing I've heard, and apparently she might end up being with Alistair. It's probably why they're holding him off a TV.
I mean, I'm all for that, like, because husband and wife side of things.
Yeah.
But I can't see how it's going to work into his gimmick that he's going off on at the moment.
Oh, don't worry, I'm going to get
Undertaker vibes from Alistair.
Oh, don't worry, I'm going to talk about his gimmick when we get to it because I've got some things to say about that.
I was more talking about the fact that there's a rumor that Jeff Hardy's getting buried by WWE.
I have a distinct suspicion that Jeff's contracts. Yeah, I think Jeff's just a contract thing.
Yeah, apparently WWE are planning to bury him a bit, and because there's word that he's headed to AEW to join his brother.
Do you know the irony of that? Is it or not make a blind bit of difference?
No, because he's still got his name, so it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, because unlike most wrestlers, Jeff Hardy is Jeff Hardy's actual name.
Yep.
So WWE can't forbid him from using it because it's his name. But the problem you're going to have though is the minute he appears, if he is going to leave and appear on AEW television, the minute you see him, people are going to be like rooting for him to be good, but simply because of WWE's incredibly bad booking. If this is what's happening, because this is what happened to Matt. The minute Matt showed up, people wanted Matt to be good because essentially WWE had made it so bad, people were willing better for them. Same thing happened to every ex-WWE guy that showed up in AEW.
Mm-hmm. And
so
also,
burying him will actually be worse for WWE. They are making it more likely for people to support the guy that's leaving. It's a bit stupid.
Also, before I say this, did you catch the bump before you came on air?
I did not. No, I generally don't catch the bump.
Well, I did kind of by accident because I was scrolling through my Instagram feed, clicked on the WWE live icon, and I saw a nice interview with Jinder Mahal, and he was slating the hell out of Drew McIntyre. So there's me thinking WWE are trying to border a storyline with Jinder and McIntyre, possibly.
Well, apparently they were going to try and do that last year before Jinder got injured, because Jinder's been injured for a while. This is why he hadn't been around.
Yeah, so if McIntyre does pick up the W tonight, we possibly see Jinder Mahal emerge and attack him.
To be fair, he might attack him anyway. It's triple threat. There's no DQ.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there is that.
Now that he's got his two goons behind him as well, so.
I think he works better when he's got like henchmen, though, in all honesty, so as far as a gimmick goes.
Well, when I first saw the two of them, I was just like, oh my god, the Singh brothers have grown, haven't they?
Yeah, that to me was a bit odd as well because I actually liked the Singh I actually liked the Singh brothers.
Yeah, but now they're actually wrestling like they kind of should have been in the first place.
Yeah. So because probably like you probably remember Mr. Bollywood Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you who never saw them, go find some old NXT stuff.
Don't even do that. Go watch them on the Cruiserweight Classic, the
Oh,
inaugural
there you
one,
go.
because they was really good in that.
Yeah, there's another thing to look at that. Yeah, which will just show you everything you want. But of course, unfortunately, when it comes to actual programs, you know what we have to start with: the albatross of WWE programming.
It means I love you in Dinosaur. Yes, we're talking about Raw.
Yeah. So I'm going to skip the stupid promo because it just led to the match.
What, the six woman tag?
Yeah, that's the one.
I mean, yeah, Alexa's.
Okay, let's explain who's in the match first before we get to the point. So we should probably tell people. Yeah, you had Asuka, Mandy Rose, and Dana Brooke versus Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler.
Yeah. It wasn't a bad match.
Yeah.
It was a good match. Alexa's bit during and afterwards was confusing, and to be honest, I don't really care about it, to be honest. It's just was they trying to tie in with the Shayna Baszler, how her knee locked and like stumbled? Was that like Alexa like focusing on her, or was it just like a thing that happened?
I'm told it's exactly what it was.
So why is Alexa focusing on Shayna Baszler?
Don't know, but when we get to the match they had on SmackDown, one of the issues Shayna had was to do that same knee.
Yeah,
but when we get to that, we'll talk about that then, of course. But it kind of relates to this. But yeah, the Alexa stuff is just weird anyway.
I'm getting bored of it, to be honest.
Well, it's also the point of with Alexa, right? How is anyone ever supposed to beat Alexa if she can actually hurt somebody without being anywhere near them?
Yeah, you're setting her up for just a big fall.
Yeah, it'll be essentially what happened to Bray Wyatt.
Pretty much.
So I have heard some things about Bray Wyatt, by the way, as to why he's not been on television, but we'll get to that in a while when we get to the end of Raw. I'll talk to you about that then.
Under the impression that the food and catering's that good.
Now, apparently there is a legitimate reason why he's not being on television. So, but we'll actually no, we'll get into it now. Why not? Apparently, I don't know how true this is. He's had trouble coping after Brody.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, and I don't have an issue with that because if that's what it is,
we're all human.
Yeah, I know there'll be people there, but that happened ages ago. Yeah, it was one of his best friends, and he dies. You don't just get over that shit.
No, I can talk from experience. You really don't.
So, because if that is what it is, good luck to the guy. I hope everything works out for him.
Yeah.
So it also would, and to be fair, if that's what's going on, I understand why he's not been on television.
Yeah.
It might also explain a bit why they've had to do this with Alexa as well, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can see the Fiend coming back bigger and badder than ever, and ripping the doll in half. I'd be quite happy with that.
Possibly. Or if you want to go
fire or something.
Or if you want to go to the complete batshit crazy Fiend thing, you just get one of the other puppets do it, like Mercy or the Buzzard or something. Or the Sister Abigail doll to attack her.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be down for that.
Because, you know, if you're going to go batshit wacky, then go the whole way in.
Yeah, just set all of the Firefly. Or what if the doll went into the Firefly Funhouse,
there you go,
killed all of his puppets, so Bray Wyatt set it on fire in revenge, or something like that.
Yeah, it just makes as much sense as anything else in that booking's gone so far. At least there's a narrative to it. Whether you like it or not is another thing entirely, but at least there's a story.
Yeah.
So, not the worst idea. So, the six woman tag, probably should mention who won. It was Asuka, Rose, and Brooke. But after the match,
yeah, they all kind of got freaked out.
Yeah.
By Alexa.
Yeah.
Wasn't much else, really.
Yeah, including the ex-MMA fighter Shayna Baszler.
Yeah. Alexa must be really scary, all 5 feet of her weirdness.
Yeah, I mean, I would say in all fairness, there are women I know who are 5 foot who are scary as shit.
I know, I live with one.
So, not knocking that, it's just how absurd this is. It's nothing to do with Alexa personally. I think Alexa's great, but the gimmick they've given her is, wow. Yeah, to be fair to her, she's doing the best she can with it, and I think that's probably why it's managed to get away with it for so long, because it's her. I think anyone else that had this gimmick, it would have died before now.
I feel like she must be really getting frustrated as well with the contact lenses, because taking them in and putting them in and taking them out can be really stressful on your eyes, and it can be damaging over a long period of time too.
Yeah, I mean, when you do stuff for like film companies and stuff, you can get special ones which are not damaging, but they cost a lot more money, so it's very expensive for them to be doing this as well.
Yeah, I mean, how much money do you think Bruce is going to be putting into his productive?
Well, put it this way, it's probably explains why all the wrestlers got released. They need the money for the contact lenses.
I mean, why do you think Seth Rollins only used them once at WrestleMania?
Because he burnt them down.
Yeah. Dad jokes.
You kind of asked for that one, though.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. Of all the people you could use as a comparison, you went with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
That's why you asked for it. There were other people you could have used which would have been much more relevant, such as Bray. So, yeah.
And
but,
Kane.
Yep, Kane used him for a while as well, yeah.
Can't forget Rey Mysterio.
Yep, Rey Mysterio's used them quite a lot, actually, and for a very long time in his life. There's a bunch of other wrestlers who've used them as well for various reasons.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of other wrestlers who've used contacts on and off throughout their careers as well. It's a thing that happens, so.
Yeah, well, from going to Mysterio's, let's head to the Arcade Bro and New Day segment.
That's what I have next as well, yes.
Yeah.
More tomatoes.
The puns, ketchup puns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It kind of foreshadowed what happened later on, didn't it?
Yeah. Also,
you know Randy doesn't like to be the butt of anyone's jokes.
Also, why are New Day telling them they are now registered as a tag team?
Yeah, I don't care for it either.
I mean, fine. If they're registered as a tag team, get Adam Pearce to tell them that.
I don't know.
But because that at least would make sense. Or even Sonya Deville. Because they're supposed to be the not authority figures. So, but yeah, this pretty much was a setup for what happened later. You're exactly right.
Yeah, and then you got Jeff Hardy versus Jinder Mahal.
Main event and last week's Raw. The match happened. The match happened then too.
Oh,
yeah.
Are we trying to bury Jeff Hardy? Yeah, by the sounds of things and looks of things, yes.
I do think they're also trying to get Jinder's new act over as well. So I don't think it's just Jeff. I think it's a combination of the fact that they're picking someone who they think that it doesn't matter if they beat. And to be fair, the way they've booked him, it doesn't. But they're trying to put Jinder's act over as well. So they're trying to do two things at once, I think.
I'd agree with you, but at the same time, commentary did say that Jinder just beat a former world champion, so it kind of makes you think, oh, is he going to go in the world championship picture?
Well, that's my point. They're trying to put Jinder's act over.
Yeah.
By mentioning the fact Jeff happens to be a former world champion. Well, Jeff is a former world champion and former WWE champion. He held both titles.
And a former tag champ.
Yeah.
And a former intercontinental. And he's just a Grand Slam champion.
He's held most of the belts, yeah. The only one he's not had is a 24/7 one, I don't think.
Not that I can remember, no.
He had its precursor, which is the hardcore one, but not the 24/7 one.
He's definitely not held the Cruiserweight Championship.
Not that I remember. Certainly not the modern one.
He didn't hold the ECW Championship either. That was his brother.
No, that was Matt. So, yeah. Although, technically, I don't count that belt, so...
wanted to say a bit about the ECW wrestler that passed away this week.
I was going to get to that when we got to the end of Raw, because we will talk about him.
Yeah.
So, because we will get to that as ECW came up. But it was like I was going to touch upon anyway, so we will talk about him.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing I have after this is the 8-man.
It was a good match.
Which is okay, bro, New Day versus AJ, Almas, Elias, and yeah.
I mean, it was a good match. I liked the fact that New Day kind of made AJ do a involuntary spinneroonie on the floor outside the ring.
And can you dig that, sucker?
AJ definitely could, but almost definitely didn't, because he didn't seem very happy. I mean, I've just got this overwhelming feeling that WWE are trying to turn Riddle heel by putting him with Randy Orton.
Well, I'm sure I've told you this before. I think he'll turn on Randy eventually. I think that's what's going to happen.
No, see, I think that Randy's going to show Riddle what Killer Instinct is all about. So they're going to become a heel tag team.
Okay. Yeah. To be honest, I'm more of the impression of eventually I just think Riddle will turn on Randy and Riddle will go heel.
I'd much prefer that too, but I'm going off of what WWE will probably try and do.
That's a fair point. Well, what WWE will try and do is just push them for a few weeks and then forget they exist.
Yeah. Once they've beaten all the tag teams.
Yeah, all two of them.
I mean, they've done that already then. We both know that it's going to be New Day versus RK Bro next week because of what happened this week.
Yeah, you would think so, wouldn't you? Yeah, RK Bro and New Day won this match, but as you rightly pointed out, we know what happened next week because of what happened after the match.
Yeah. Randy Orton didn't like the jokes that were made earlier on in the night. And he kind of RKO'd both of them. Which
came as a surprise to no one, apparently, except for Woods and in Kingston.
It kind of came as a shock to Riddle, too. But he was probably high anyway, so we give him that as an excuse.
I'm not sure it really came as a surprise to Riddle. I just think Riddle was just high.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen him not high. He just seems high in general.
I think that's his natural state, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Okay, the next thing I have after this is Sheamus versus Humberto Carrillo.
Yeah, and Humberto was injured.
Yeah, quite badly. This match had no conclusion to it. It was a no contest, and that's because Humberto got very badly hurt.
Yeah, significantly hurt that they actually stopped the match.
Yeah. For those who didn't see it, Sheamus literally landed on Carrillo's knee.
Yeah.
And Sheamus is a big boy.
And from what I heard as well, Humberto was actually supposed to have won this match, and it was supposed to have been the United States Championship tonight at Backlash.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an instigation match. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight, whether or not Mansoor steps up to Sheamus and challenges him on the pre-show or something.
I was going
like
to say, because currently there is not a United States title match listed for what I have. So there's always a possibility of that.
What happened not this week, the week beforehand with Mansoor, I can see him like stepping over Humberto metaphorically and going straight to Sheamus on the kickoff show, slapping him around the face or something and saying, "I'll beat your ass tonight" or something. And then we get a surprise United States Championship match on the main show or the kickoff show.
I would think kickoff, if anything, because as far as I know, there isn't a kickoff match announced, so that's quite possibly could happen there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably not going to watch the kickoff show, so if there is a match, I'll watch it tomorrow. Because
I don't blame you.
After this is done, I'm probably going to stream for a bit with a bit of the Crow fam.
That makes sense. So, yeah. So basically, once we're done here, guys, if you're watching us, basically, then give Aaron about 5 minutes or so he can sort himself out, and then possibly jump over his Twitch when we're done.
Yeah, I'm this close to being affiliated, so any support would be great.
Yeah, never hurts. Support is always good.
Yeah.
Let's see. So next thing I have is Shelton against Alexander.
I'm glad Shelton won.
So am I.
I mean, it will be interesting to see where this goes.
Well, there'll be a rematch.
Well, yeah, I guess that much. But I'm tempted to see where this is going to end for the pair of them, because now they're not together. They're not in any singles title pictures. I'm wondering whether or not Alexander will go back to 205 Live and compete for the Cruiserweight Championship.
What will probably happen is one of them will end up in the 24/7 division, and the other one will end up being one of Sheamus's challengers. That's honest.
Who that is.
Again, this is WWE booking, so that's what I suspect.
I mean, if Alexander was to do the smart thing, I'd say that he should go back to NXT.
You don't get to choose that. That's up to creative.
Yeah, I'm just saying though. 205 Live or NXT for Alexander. Shelton Benjamin, maybe the United States Championship. But if all else fails, then I'm sure the 24/7 Championship will be waiting.
Yeah.
That or catering.
Or Shelton's of an advanced stage just in wrestling terms. I mean, he's not old, but he's experienced, which means there's a certain amount of things he's more likely to get than what Alexander would. That's the thing.
Yeah. To quote the man, he's survived this long. He's not going anywhere.
You also got to bear in mind that Shelton's also was a gifted amateur wrestler. The guy did amateur wrestling with Brock Lesnar. So
yeah, and got thrown out of Royal Rumble by Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, but my point being is in a real life fight, I wouldn't really fancy your chances fighting Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah, I'd prefer to fight Alexander.
Yeah. Because bear in mind that Shelton's a guy that's been around Brock, and Brock in a real fight is quite an experience as well. So, yeah.
I mean, for those of you who don't remember, when he gave Braun Strowman a receipt, he almost flattened him out on the floor.
This being Lesnar, by the way, to be clear, we don't mean Benjamin.
Yeah. Generally punched Braun Strowman in the face and almost KO'd him.
Yeah, but Strowman kind of brought that one on himself because he was a bit too overexcited, shall we say, and Brock just reminded him, "You're not supposed to do that."
Basically.
But Brock did it in probably the most polite way Brock could do it, but still making his point.
Mm-hmm.
And he did, to be fair.
Oh, yes.
Of course, the next thing I have, and boy, do I have an issue with this. Rhea Ripley against Asuka. Right. These two have no chemistry. Why are they fighting each other again? And secondly, Asuka's already wrestled.
Mm.
Not being funny. It's not. This isn't anything against Asuka. You have plenty of other women wrestlers who could have had this match.
Yep. Not surprised Charlotte interrupted.
No,
it was an okay match considering Asuka pulled double duty.
Yeah.
It could have been great.
I think
the
it was
interference just took from the match entirely.
It was probably the best of the ones they've had, to be fair.
I mean, even including the match at Mania. Yeah.
But obviously the interference kind of robbed you of anything that was going to happen. But as you rightly point out, it was obvious Charlotte would get involved.
Yeah.
But it's what you would expect.
Typical.
Yeah. Speaking of things to expect, Damian Priest matches. So who do you think it is, people? Give you hints, one or two people, generally.
It was just a rerun. Great match, but another bloody repeat. We had this last week.
Yeah. No
Why
offense
did you see it again?
No offense to the talent. They did good for themselves. But yeah, this is twice in a row. Only thing with this one, at least there was a reason for this match to happen. There was a stipulation thing.
But if it was a stipulation, then why the hell was Morrison in it? Why not put the Miz in it?
Because Miz is a chicken shit, would be my guess. But they never explained that. So yeah, you do have a point there. It was a good match. Priest won the match. And this is what I have more of an issue with, is what he picked as the stipulation.
Why lumberjacks?
Yeah. This made no sense to me at all.
Steel cage. Simple.
Yeah. Or a ball rope.
Hell in a Cell. Strap match.
Yeah, something which stops the Miz running away, yeah.
Hell, an asylum match. Have a hot tub match.
A cage match, even. Yeah, something that stops the Miz running away, basically, and stops Morrison interfering.
But no.
Lumberjack. Yeah, he's picked a match where everyone can interfere.
Yeah. I mean, if they surrounded the ring with certain superstars picked by Damian Priest, like, for instance, if Damian Priest was to say, I want an NXT lumberjack match, that'd be interesting. Oh,
yeah, but that's not what's going to happen, though.
No, of course not. You're going to have all the people that are out in catering. I'd laugh if the Fiend turned up. Just standing there, going like this.
He just stands there for, like, the entire match going, wowie, yowie, or yowie, wowie.
Miz gets chucked out the side, he takes one look at the Fiend, and he's just like...
Oh, no, you get Bray turn up, but he turns up as the Mr. Rogers version from the Funhouse.
Yeah.
He's just there for the entire thing going, yowie, wowie.
Yeah.
But as we pointed out before, I don't think that will happen because I think he just needs time to deal with stuff, and that's fine. But yeah, it makes no sense. But when we get to we're going to do predictions for Backlash, and we'll talk more about that match then. Then, of course, the main event. This did not need to happen. What a waste of fucking time.
Agreed.
So, basically, in the last 2 weeks, you've had Lashley fight both the other people that were going to be in this match. And you've had not had a straightforward conclusion to either one. it makes your challenger look fucking weak, and it makes your champion look like a complete and utter wuss. And the point is, Lashley's not supposed to look that way because Lashley's Lashley.
Mm-hmm.
So what the fuck are you doing?
It was a heavy hitting match.
Yeah.
Kind of expected. Strowman interrupted.
Yeah.
Just like we expected. But I'll be honest, I didn't think Braun would be standing tall at the end of the night. That's what kind of made me like, okay then. I expected Lashley to be standing tall.
Well, the irony being, but because of the way the logic works, that means Strowman ain't winning the match at Backlash.
But I mean,
so that's usually how that works.
But I can't see it happening.
Probably not, but you never know.
Heard that Lesnar's supposed to be coming back sooner rather than later.
I think we've been hearing that. We've been hearing that since the lockdown started. To be perfectly honest.
Yeah, but Lashley was and is contracted. In his contract, it states that he is guaranteed a match against Brock Lesnar.
Well, you can't have a match against somebody who's currently not there.
Yeah, but the thing is, Lashley's contract is due to be expiring soon, if I heard correctly.
That, say, that would depend on when he's. Let's see, when did he come back?
He came back in 2018, I think, 2019.
Then yeah, it's probably about due, unless he's had an extension.
So if Lesnar doesn't return tonight, I'm expecting him to return Monday.
No, we'll see.
Because thinking about it, the triple threat could get very interesting because you could have Jinder Mahal interfere with Drew, you could have Lesnar interfere with Lashley, and then who's there left to pick up the pieces?
Lily the doll.
Yeah, totally. I can see her biting Lesnar's ear off. I mean Lashley's ear off. What's left of it?
Yeah. But essentially that was Raw.
Yeah. And to be honest, I gave it a 7 out of 10. For what it was bad.
Honestly, I think that's, for me, I think that's a bit high, but it's your ranking, my man, so you give it what you want.
What would you rank it?
5.
I mean, like, for a pre-pay-per-view Raw, I thought it was okay.
Well, that's why this is why I gave it a low rating, because I don't think it really helped the build-up for the pay-per-view.
I mean, I don't think there was much of a build-up of it to begin with, so I just marked it as a bog standard Raw.
Yeah, fair enough.
Wasn't expecting anything exciting, and to be honest, nothing really delivered.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Right, so now we have NXT. Be curious to know what your opinion is of this first thing I have.
Cross versus Theory. This felt like a squash match.
And it was.
And I enjoyed every second of it, to be honest. Theory was basically KO'd.
Yeah, but the thing is, with Cross, this is what you should do with Cross, in all honesty. If you want to make him like a monster, he needs to have matches like this.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Theory, as you rightly point out, he did a very good job in this match. You could say he showed them the way.
Yikes. Yikes. Double yikes.
Well, that is what it is.
Wow.
So yeah, straightforward enough.
Mm-hmm.
Although it does look like we're going to get him again, Cross against Balor.
Yeah, because he flipped the switch on him with his stand behind scary, spooky routine.
Yeah. Oh, and because I need to get it in somewhere in this program, I'm going to do it now. Scarlett Bordeaux needs to wrestle. Scarlett Bordeaux needs to wrestle. There you go.
Let her fight. Let her fight. Let her fight. Let her fucking fight.
Yeah. Basically.
I just had a really weird message.
Was it Vince McMahon telling you that creative sucks?
No, it's from a brand called That Sounds Gay. Wow.
Well, that could mean it sounds happy.
No, it's for gay men. They're looking for representatives, and I was like, "Sorry, I'm bi."
It could be. It could also be ironic.
Yeah. Guess we'll never know.
Something I always tell people, though, in all honesty, on a serious note, never judge a book by its cover. Don't make assumptions. Find out facts first.
Yep. I said bye.
What, buy or buy?
Oh, I put buy as in B-I. But I'm hoping to take it as buy as well.
Yeah, that's what I asked, because is it buy or buy?
It
says bye-bye.
Yes.
Sure. Right. Next thing I have is MSK against Breezango.
The moment with the referee was really funny, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. That made it on the onto the internet, because I saw a few people post that.
That was just like, wow, that's not something you see every day.
It's been. You also sent me that as well. It's been a long time since I've seen a referee do something like that. I've seen referees do it before, but it's not common.
I mean, but the win was good for MSK and the mutual respect shown between the two tag teams. I'm just glad we're not getting another storyline.
Well, the thing is, Breezango shouldn't have won this match, but it should be competitive, which it was. And it helps MSK look good, which is what you want from a match like this. Although some of the wrestlers in the NXT may want to do a bit more practice, because if the referee can do that and you can't, then you need to do some more training.
Yeah.
Next thing I have is my mate Pete Dunne.
Open challenge.
Against Leon Ruff. And take a wild guess who won this match, people.
Oh, I don't know. Does it begin with P?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Ruff. Oh.
Somebody needs to go back to school and check their spelling.
Oh, yeah. Pete Dunne. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah. Did it surprise anyone that Dunne won?
Especially not with Ruff not being 100%.
Yeah,
it was kind of a good match. I was getting to that as well. I'd like to see a rematch.
Yeah.
But when Ruff's back to 100%, because you could tell Ruff was still hurting from that last man standing match.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Anyway, it was an entertaining match. It was what it was.
Well, that's what you want.
So you need to see it once Ruff's back to 100%.
Yeah, but I think that's the upside to this. Is they can give you more, because, as you rightly point out, Ruff was not physically top-notch shape.
I mean, you can easily see this turning into a feud if you really wanted to push the boat out that way.
Well, it depends, because obviously depends what you want to do with Dunn, because obviously you've still got the North American title out there, which you could go for,
Yeah.
or even the NXT title. But it depends what you want to do with Dunn as to what you do with it. But this could be an interesting little feud for him if they need to buy some time for him until he can do something.
Yeah. I mean, as long as Pete's putting food on the table for his daughter and his wife, then he's happy, ain't he? So.
Yeah, proper English, that one.
Yep. If he wasn't getting the matches, he'd be threatening to leave.
Yeah, pretty much. Next thing I have is the NXT Women's title.
This should have been main event. No offense to Kushida and Santos.
I was surprised this was here.
This should have been main event. And the 2 out of 3 falls match should have been here.
Yeah, it made no sense to me.
This was backwards booking. And for NXT, that kind of is unexpected and kind of a bit why.
I also found it a bit weird that it wasn't saved for a takeover.
I was too. But then I saw the quality of the match, and to be honest, I think they both could have done better.
Yeah, but I still think it shouldn't. I still think it should have been the main event of the program, though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, because as you point out, no offense to the cruiserweight guys, but that should not have been the main event.
No.
So, but yeah, Gonzalez against Martinez.
Yeah,
Gonzalez won.
Yeah,
Gonzalez won,
as you'd expect from the two powerhouses.
But I do think this does allow you to have another match at some point.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with Dakota Kai not on the match side of things.
Yeah.
Borrow from ringside, for God's sake.
Yeah. So there are things you can do to make this have more matches and make this last longer. So,
Yep.
It was, as far as a start for a feud goes, it's probably not the worst starting match for a feud. Because you can still build on this and go further. Which is never a bad thing.
Then you had... Oh, talking about bad things, we had the $1 Million Man segment.
Uh-huh.
And we're seeing the $1 Million Man next week on NXT.
Yeah.
Why?
Because everybody has a price for the $1 Million Man. Yeah, that apparently that really got to Aaron. So anyway, we'll see what happens with that one. Obviously with him and Grimes and what goes from there. Anyway, so let's get off of that and we'll go on to Isaiah Scott.
Yeah. Isaiah Scott. Oh, Hit Row.
Uh-huh. That's what I was going to get to.
Yeah, it was okay.
Mm-hmm. What have you done?
Nothing.
I was going to say, so why can't we see you then?
I don't know.
Because it's literally just brought up your face logo thing.
If. I have the power.
Yeah, well. You say that, but you don't.
No.
But yeah, new faction. Hit Low Records.
Yeah. There seems to be a lot of factions developing, doesn't there?
Mm-hmm. I will say this for the NXT thing, and it may not be a popular opinion, but I don't care. This is my job to do. It's almost like they're copying the AEW model of having factions. Because AEW has a lot of factions. It's what they do.
Inner Circle.
There's loads. I'm not going to go through them all. It would take too long. But pretty much, apart from probably 2 or 3 wrestlers over there, they have pretty much everyone's belongs to a faction of some kind. NXT do not need to be doing that. Don't copy.
No. And on the copying note, you'll be happy to know that I really, really don't like the new Galaxy chocolate bar. I love it. I mean, like, it's really nice.
All right. On to the next match, because I don't really want to talk about the faction anymore, because I personally thought it was kind of a waste of time as well.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing against the talents, I just don't see the point of it.
No.
Certain factions have their purposes. Absolutely, they do.
Like Undisputed Era.
They went on for about 18 months too long, but at least to begin with, they had a purpose. The Way even has a purpose.
Yeah.
Hit Low does not. It makes no sense.
I think they just want to fit in.
I mean, they may be able to do stuff. They may be able to do things to change my mind, in which case, fine. But at present, I don't see the point.
Mm-mm.
I'm open to having them change my mind, though.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. It's a new faction, so maybe they can do something. But anyway, next match. Kyle O'Reilly against Oney Lorcan.
Good match. I liked it. Heavy hitting as anything.
I was going to say, if this had been a bad match, I would have been very surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Because both of these guys can work.
Yeah, and we got the return from Bobby Fish as well after O'Reilly got the win.
Yeah, I'll let you talk about this because you love it. You love the Undisputed Era for some reason.
The Undisputed Era is over, so.
Yeah, but they're members, I mean.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was expecting maybe like a hug or something, like it's like between the two of them because they were like 2 of the original 3 members. But no, there was no hug. It was just good to see you, Bobby. But I'm kind of doing my own thing now. And Bobby just said, yeah, I'm only here for a bit of revenge. And then toddled off. It was like, so are we going to get a reunion of sorts? Or are we just going to
I'd say in the case of those two, at least that kind of interaction between them two makes sense because they were a tag team before the Undisputed Era as well because they were Red Dragon.
Yeah.
So, but that means, is he going after Strong or is he going after Cole?
I'd say Cole, based on the fact that Strong's left. Yeah. The contract doesn't expire until, well, it's not for another 3 months. So, I don't know.
Left.
So, right.
But Cole makes the most sense because at the present he doesn't really have anything to do.
I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Fish versus Cole.
I'd be much more interested in watching Bobby Fish.
Yeah, but him beating up Adam Cole just sounds fun too.
But I just don't want to see Adam Cole.
Baby.
Yeah. People who know me are aware of this. I do not like Adam Cole.
He's like Marmite. You either love him or you hate him.
I just don't like him at
Or you
all.
can just be on the fence with him. On my case, it's just like,
Right. The rest of the members of the era are decent wrestlers, but the act was bad. But Cole, I've never liked at any point in time. Even when he was in the Bullet Club, I didn't like him, and I despised the Boring Club as well. So, but he was one of the worst members of the Boring Club.
What about Balor Club?
Oh well, he's the main doofus responsible for the fucking Boring Club to begin with.
By boring, do you mean Bullet?
Yes. To be clear, because this is a subject I'm very talk about a lot, both here and in high spots, because there are members of former members of said Boring Club in most of the companies at this point, and Cole happens to be one of them. Balor, of course, was actually the founder of said club. And the problem is, I actually like Balor. I just don't like the Boring Club.
No, I get you.
So, because particularly with factions, this goes back to a faction thing. Factions have a place in wrestling, absolutely they do. But you can't have one go on for 8+ years like the Boring Club has. That's way too long. 2-3 years, maybe. Then that's it. Stop.
Because you had AJ Styles, didn't you? Balor. Balor
was first. Balor, Anderson, and Gallows were the first three.
Then AJ.
AJ took over from Balor when Balor left.
Then I'm guessing Adam Cole.
Adam Cole came in during that period. Eventually, Omega came in, and Omega eventually replaced AJ. And that's when Gallows and Anderson left as well. So
yeah, because they came to WWE quite shortly afterwards.
Yeah, they all kept AJ and Gallows and Anderson all turned up roughly at the same time, and then you got Nakamura, who also appeared roughly at the same time as well. But Nakamura was not Bullet Club.
Didn't realize Nakamura was.
No, he wasn't Bullet Club, but he turned up roughly at the same sort of time as they did. Weirdly enough, in New Japan, he was part of Chaos, which was the main rival group to the Boring Club.
Who? Nakamura?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds about right, especially with the big hype up for the WrestleMania match between AJ and Nakamura.
Yeah, which is a rematch from Wrestle Kingdom 8, which took place. And the Wrestle Kingdom 8 match was much, much better than the one we got at Mania.
One at Mania was crap.
Yeah, for those of you who want to see a decent match between the two of them, Wrestle Kingdom 8.
Or one that they had on SmackDown a little while afterwards, I think, was pretty decent.
Yeah, it was better than the Mania match, but trust me, if you want to see the best they could do, you want that Wrestle Kingdom 8 match. So.
I mean, Nakamura's been looking good lately. Got some new jewelry.
Oh, we will get to that. Don't you worry. I've got some thoughts on that. All right. So O'Reilly beat Lorcan. You should need to actually finish talking about NXT.
Surprise.
Sorry?
Surprise.
Yeah. And then we had the Cruiserweight title match, which was the main event. We already discussed the fact of it shouldn't have been. It should have been.
Yeah, this shouldn't have been main event.
Yeah, we kind of touched on this when we got to the women's match. The women's match should have been the main event here.
Mm-hmm.
But to be fair, Kushida and Escobar, they did a fairly decent job for what they could do.
I'm glad Legado was thrown out from ringside straight away.
Yeah.
Escobar got the first fall.
Yeah.
Wasn't surprised by that. Kushida got the second fall almost like straight away, like kind of like a ricochet rebound immediately tapping out Escobar in an armbar.
WWE have a habit of doing this with multi-fall matches.
Yeah. And then Kushida picked up the win by pin.
Which, to be fair, he should have done, in all honesty.
Yeah, there was no tap out. So it was just pin. Clean pin. Good. It was one of those get it, got it, good matches.
And there's nothing wrong with those kind of matches.
No. As long as that's the end of the rivalry and there's not like a bitch fit about, I want a rematch of a rematch, and we're just going to be like, we've seen the best from you two. Can we see some new talent now?
Yeah, as long as it serves a purpose, that's fine.
Yeah. Escobar gets another shot down the line? Sure. So I like seeing these two wrestle. But please just don't give it to us 2 weeks in a row, especially after a multi-pinned match.
Well, we'll see what they'll do, won't we?
Because, I mean, a 2 out of 3 falls match is basically watching 3 matches at once. If you think about it.
Depends how long the match goes for, but yeah.
So we've seen 3 matches. We don't need to see a 4th.
Not for a while, anyway.
Not for a while.
Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with doing rematches, but
no,
they have their place,
and they kind of like have to be earned. Like, and people need to want to see them. Otherwise, it's just going to be one of those matches. In which case, a championship match where they'll all be taking their toilet breaks, and WWE just be going, "Where did all our viewers go?" And we're just like, "We went to the toilet because we've seen this 3 times already."
There you go. But this was the end. Basically, this was the end of NXT.
Yeah.
So,
UK?
You didn't grade it.
Oh. If I remember correctly, and I think I do, yeah, I gave this one a 7 out of 10.
I think that's fair.
I mean, there wasn't any major problems.
Yeah.
But there wasn't any major highs.
Yeah, and it had a few decent matches too. So yeah, I can see a 7. Now, to Aaron's usual favourite program, NXT UK.
Usual inconsistent, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw Nathan Fraser versus Noam Dar to kick off the show.
It's the first thing I have. It's the Heritage Cup.
Traditional rounds match. Heritage Cup. They call it a Heritage Cup match. It's a British rounds match. That's what it is. There's no such thing as a Heritage Cup match. Because if it was a Heritage Cup match, it would be for the Heritage Cup. But
yeah,
it's not.
WWE and their wording.
It's kind of stupid because they even announced it on TV as a Heritage Cup match, and it's just like, no, it's not. It's a British rounds match.
Yeah, this is just WWE and their wording.
So yeah, we had Nathan Fraser versus Noam Dar.
Never a bad thing to see Noam Dar have a match.
No, I mean, the end of the first round, you got the cheeky Noam Dar cheap shot, where he backwards spun the elbow and pretty much KO'd Nathan Fraser, but it was after the bell, so it didn't count.
No, it wouldn't.
So the first fall, straight after round 1, in round 2, went to Fraser by a roll-up. And the second fall went to Dar via submission, because he got Fraser in the knee bar, round 4, I think it was. And then round 5, Dar got the third and final fall against Fraser. One of the fastest paced rounds matches I've seen, and it's a shame that Shah Samuels got involved and cost Fraser the match. But it's to be expected of Shah Samuels, to be honest.
I'll say it wasn't that surprising, but it did kind of cause issues for the match.
Yeah. I think if we was to see a rematch, they'd have to leave Shah Samuels banned from ringside. Not that it's ever stopped him before, but
I was gonna say good luck with that.
yeah, I mean, in all fairness, one of the best rounds matches in NXT UK so far. especially if you like fast-paced, quick, adept on the fly matches.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
And then you had Mark Andrews versus Levi Muir.
Mm-hmm. For those who used to watch TN8, that's Mandrews.
Yeah, and it was a great showing by Muir, but a win for Mark Andrews, which was kind of needed because they've got the new subculture group going around now with Danny Luna and Flash Morgan Webster, or the Mod Father, as people might know him.
Yeah, the thing is, I've not seen Mandrews for a while, so it was interesting to see him pop up here.
Yeah, I mean, he had to overcome an injury due to symbiosis, which is the Hunt and Eddie Dennis, or now Primate Eddie Dennis and T-Bone.
We have covered them on a previous show.
Yeah. But it's good to see him back in fighting shape and actually in the new kind of faction with subculture. And then you had the main event number one contender women's gauntlet match.
Yeah, which I figured this would be an interesting match.
It was. It really was. And
with an obvious winner, though, to be perfectly blunt.
Well, I mean, there was only 4 people announced because Zaya Brookside was injured.
Yeah.
We say injured. She tested positive, apparently.
She was pulled from the match, basically, but we're not certain why. That's the honest answer. We don't know for sure.
And I got to say, an amazing showing from Isla Dawn. If it wasn't for the surprise member of this match being Meiko Satomura, I could have seen Isla Dawn going the full length of it.
I believe she was one of your picks.
Yeah. But as I said, Meiko Satomura was the late replacement after beating Aretha Valkyrie the week before.
Yeah, not being funny. The minute I heard she was in this match, I was like, oh, I know who's winning.
Yeah, as soon as her music hit, I was just like, oh, well, there goes the fucking book. Sorry, Dawn.
Yeah.
So, Dawn came out first. We had Mackenzie came out second. Mackenzie lost to Dawn. Danny Luna came out, also lost to Dawn. Meiko Satomura's music hit. Dawn lost to Meiko. And then
everyone lost.
Meiko beat the crap out of Ginny and became the number one contender.
Yeah, basically everyone lost once Satomura came out.
I mean, it was well booked for what it was.
Yeah.
And well done to all the women involved in the match. It was really really well done. But at the end of the day, it's Meiko Satomura. And at the end, when Kaylee Ray came out, she bowed to Satomura. We thought, respect, because they've had this match before. Then Meiko bowed, and she ate a super kick for all her troubles from Kaylee Ray. And we're just like, yay! Typical heel Kaylee Ray.
Yeah. But I think Kaylee Ray might pay for that, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I can see her paying for it with her championship.
Yeah.
Which should set up for Meiko versus Valkyrie Part 2.
Yeah.
Further down the line.
And there's also a few other people that were in this gauntlet who possibly could end up coming back round for a shot as well.
I'd be more than happy to see Isla Dawn go for it. Obviously, she's trained by Aleister Black. Then you got Mackenzie, who's actually trained by Pete Dunne.
There you go. Even Brookside, when she's able to go again. Yeah.
I mean, Brookside's long overdue a title match. She's been there since the UK brand's inception.
Yeah.
So I can see any of those women going for it, to be honest.
It's good to have options.
It is. It really is.
And as far as I'm aware, that's it for your NXT UK.
Yeah, I gave it a solid 9. The only thing that could have been better was if Shaw Samuels would have
the Heritage
put it off. Yeah. And they could actually get the name of the match right. Just
that's why I refer to it as heritage match for. So yeah,
yeah, it's just stickles like that. I was just like, come on,
yeah.
you're talking about bigging up British heritage, and you can't even get the name of the bloody match correct. Nice one, WWE.
It sounds about right for WWE, but there you go.
Yeah.
But 9, I'm rating out of 9. I'm not surprised.
Mm.
Right, now for SmackDown. Which started with Roman and the Usos talking.
Yeah, seems to be a reoccurring theme.
Uh-huh.
On the recap, they didn't even mention the fact that last week was supposed to be Throwback SmackDown. Which just goes to show how much they cared about that.
Well, as a heads up for people who aren't aware, the reason that was a Throwback SmackDown, that was Fox's idea. That was not WWE's. So basically, they were made to do it. So you can
Torino
tell.
500.
Yeah, so you can tell.
And Romo's promo about Cesaro was good. Then Jimmy came out, said his piece, and I like Jimmy's shirt. No one's bitch. Roman's family promo was probably his best mic work for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I've actually noticed that Roman's mic work's gotten a lot better. Probably got Paul Heyman to thank for that.
Very much so, because if for those who've never seen Heyman do promos prior to WWE, yeah, that's probably why why someone like Roman has probably taken a lot of, let's say, lessons from Heyman.
I mean, if you've got a tool like that in your corner, you need to fucking learn from it. If you don't, you're an idiot.
Yeah, if you've got somebody who's got that experience, pay attention. It's the same reason why I talk about Omos and AJ.
Yeah, it's one learning tree you need to sit under and you need to study.
Yeah, you should do that. It makes perfect sense you do that.
I mean, like, if you look back a few months ago before he was with Paul Heyman, even like a couple of years ago, even when he had that moment in the ring with John Cena, and John Cena came off script and said, "It's called a promo, kid. Learn how to cut it." That's how bad Roman was at promos.
Yeah,
he got ripped in on it live in front of a paying audience.
Yeah, I mean, I would say in all fairness, Roman has clearly worked on his promos as well. It's not just the fact he's had Heyman there, but I think Roman has also gone out of his way to get better.
Yeah, he's like adapted the persona of the tribal chief, and he's actually taking it seriously because it's about his heritage.
Yeah, obviously he has had the help from Heyman as well, no doubt about it.
Yeah,
but it's a combination of the two things. It's not just one or the other.
I am glad that he's actually got a lot better at this. Because
the talking needed to improve because he was not good.
Because if he is the face of a company that's about entertainment, his promo skills were subpar at best.
Well, look at the face of WWE going backwards in time. They could all talk. Hogan, Austin, Rock, Cena. Triple H was never the face of the company.
It's face of SmackDown.
I'm talking about the company face, not the face of the company.
No. AJ Styles
was never the face of the company. Coincides with Cena being around. That's the same reason why Triple H doesn't count as well. Because Triple H's problem is he's coincided with The Rock and Austin as well. And then it coincided with Cena. So he never got to be the face of the company. He's important. Yes, absolutely he was. But he would not be the face. The faces are the ones who get to be in things like big blockbuster movies because they get asked to do big time film roles, which Roman's already had experience doing. He was in Hobbs and Shaw.
Randy Orton
was never actually the face of the company.
He's been in movies though.
Yeah, but not big movies.
Yeah.
We're talking like the big Hollywood blockbuster movies, those sort of movies.
Yeah.
So, because the face of the companies tend to have cross appeal. And usually they're in demand for things like Make-A-Wish.
Yep.
And those sort of things as well.
Yeah.
So I also think the fact of, obviously, in particular in Roman's case, when it comes to something like Make-A-Wish, he can speak from his own experience. So that's going to make him much more valuable for things like that, because he can talk from a position of knowing stuff. He's not just trying to sympathize.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So he definitely has a big upside, and you just have to keep using him right, and he will get better and better and better and better. Mm-hmm. When the time's right, I think that eventually they will turn him back face.
Possibly.
When the time is right, I mean. You can't do this too soon, because if you do it too soon, you're going to piss away all the goodwill you've built up with the fans.
I don't think they'll be doing it anytime soon.
No, but what I mean is you need to turn him face when the fans want it. You can't do it too soon or too late.
I feel like they're going to leave it too late, because the way that things are looking, we're going to keep on with heel Roman until WrestleMania Hollywood, which isn't for another 2 years.
Yeah, but that may be fine. But you have to go. Part of what you have to do is also based on your reactions you get from the crowd as to what you should do with your talent. But at the same time, you don't always give the crowd what they want. You have to be very careful what you give. It's a very fine balance.
I guess so.
Because you don't always necessarily give the crowd what they want, but you need to give them what they need.
Oh, what they need and what they want are two separate things.
Right. And it seems to be a thing WWE don't understand. In fact, a lot of companies don't understand it, to be fair. Every wrestling company does suffer from this, because none of them are 100% success rate with this stuff. It just doesn't happen.
No. Yeah. It's stupid, and it really does grate on a lot of fans that care about the whole industry.
I would say, to be fair, at the same time, it's a very hard thing to do. I'm not saying it's easy.
No, it's really not.
And also, you can never please every fan out there. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, we disagree on a lot of stuff all the time.
Yeah, of course we do. But that's what grown-ups do. But then you realise it's okay, everyone has a different opinion, because they should.
Yeah, I mean, we're both WWE fans, or we appreciate WWE. But we both have our thoughts, opinions, likes, dislikes, favourites, least favourites.
Yeah, of course we do.
It's what makes us who we are. It's not something that we're going to argue over, because we respect each other's opinions. And anybody who doesn't respect another person's opinions, even if that person's opinions may be wrong in their eyes, just needs to grow up.
You don't necessarily have to agree with somebody's opinion, but at least respect the fact that that's their opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. You can
I don't mind him.
Yeah, you can always ask people as to why, and try and find out why that's their opinion, but never tell them they're wrong, because for all you know, they could have a very good reason why they have that opinion.
Yeah. They might have actually met the person in person.
Yeah. I mean, that's why you talk to people and discuss stuff. You learn.
Mm-hmm.
Never a bad thing. But obviously, we were talking about the Usos and Roman having this talk off, and then of course eventually Cesaro comes out and accepts a challenge from Jimmy Uso for a match later.
Yeah, and then the next match should have happened tonight. Not being funny.
Mm-hmm.
This should have happened tonight, and I'm not even talking about a pre-show match. This shouldn't have been pre-show. This should have been main show, because of the emotion behind it and what actually happened.
This is also way too late in happening. A team needs to have done this before now as well. But the thing is, the two people who did this, I'm glad for them, because they have
over the moon.
Put in a lot of work and worked very hard. People may not necessarily appreciate them.
They deserved it.
I think they.
I mean, being as both of these women, have been there since the start of the Divas division.
Natalia, I think, is probably very early Divas division.
Yeah. Divas division and Women's Champion division.
To give you guys an idea, Tamina turned up at first with the Usos.
Yeah, back when they were wearing face paint.
So, yes, we had Tamina and Natalia versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler for the women's tag titles.
Yep.
And we are both delighted by the fact that Tamina and Natalia won.
Yeah, and it was a really emotional win. You could tell how emotional it was for Tamina and Natalia at the same time. Really happy with this booking.
Yeah.
Just great.
There's two things I've got to point out about their opponents. Baszler was still doing the knee thing from Raw, which Alexa Bliss caused to happen. Yeah, so that's an issue. The second thing which surprised me more was who took the fall.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by it too. But in a way, I'm happy because
I'm happy she did, but I'm surprised for the way WWE have booked her.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised Reginald didn't cause a DQ and we was going to see this match tonight and the win tonight. Because when the pyro started going off after the match, I was just like, this should have happened last night. Why are we having pyro on a Friday night when the show's only just started?
Yeah.
We had a half an hour promo segment with the champion and his cousins and Cesaro. Now we're celebrating the tag team, new women's tag team champions with promo going off at the beginning of the show. Why wasn't this either at the end, a main event match, or happening tonight? It just didn't make sense booking wise. It infuriated me, and I am so happy for Tamina and Natalia. At the same time, I am so pissed with WWE booking it for Friday.
I think you can book it on SmackDown, but make it like either the beginning of the second hour.
Yeah, or make it a main event. I mean, the women's NXT championships, the main event in NXT. Why not have the women's tag championships main event SmackDown?
Only thing I'd say is possibly you wouldn't have it because of what happened in the actual main event match, which we will talk about in a bit, though. Because I think that kind of they wanted that to be the image for the go home.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it, but at the same time, it was.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think you're wrong. I think it probably should have been, but I'm just trying to think as to why they did it the way they did it.
Yeah, I mean, you could have had Cesaro. You could have had Cesaro and Jimmy get counted out the match before this match, and then as Cesaro is walking home at the end of the night, walking to his car, they try to jump him and he just beats the crap out of him and he's just left there standing in the car park like, ah.
Well, yeah, I don't think you're wrong. I mean, there's a detail you got wrong, but apart from that, the rest of it sounds absolutely fine. It's just something you could have done, but yeah. It's not what happened, though, of course. But yeah, congratulations to Natalia and Tamina. There is no women's tag title match tonight, according to the list I have for matches, just to be clear, for Backlash. That may change, of course, between now and when that happens, because WWE like adding late matches.
I mean, I can check Instagram and see whether or not any late matches have been added.
So, but in the meantime, the next thing I have is Apollo Crews and Colonel and Old Aziz having their little celebration or whatever the hell it was, which Aaron is going to reenact now with accents.
Go away.
This, of course, eventually led to basically it being interrupted by Zayn, Big E, and Kevin Owens.
I mean, Apollo's whole segment of giving a medal, and it just broke down. We expected it to happen.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as Big E interrupted, he was just like, okay. Then Sammy, he was like, okay, might as well call KO out as well. Look what happened. KO run down to the ring, And then Big A pops out of nowhere. He was just like, yeah, this is like typical booking. This is really typical booking.
Okay, there's something that relates to this, which was talked about later, but I'm going to talk about it now because it relates to it. As a result of this, there's now a fatal 4-way match next week on SmackDown for the title between the 4 people.
Why can't this happen tonight?
I'm suspecting, this is my theory about this, is SmackDown wanted a big thing for their show. That's my guess. Because it's Fox.
We're going to get Backlash rematches probably next week anyway.
No. We will get Backlash rematches.
So why the fuck do they need a big main event for next week?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think why they did it. Or maybe, and this could be a maybe they don't want to make the pay-per-view 4 or 5 hours long. Bear in mind, there's no crowd.
Yeah, I guess.
So maybe that's why. I mean, I don't know. It's the honest answer. The next thing I have, we've tried and travel back to 2010 because it's Rey Mysterio versus Dolph Ziggler.
Another win for the Mysterios. Yeah.
For those who don't know, the Dirty Dogs are going to take on the Mysterios at Backlash. So this is clearly a lead up to that for some reason. I actually think this wasn't necessary.
No.
I mean, it was an okay match, but it wasn't needed. You could have put on another women's match here, for example.
Yep.
So the next thing we did get, however, was a Bianca Belair Bayley segment. Yeah, this was like really riveting and really made me want to see the match tonight. Oh wait, no, it didn't.
Yeah.
It's the go home show before your pay-per-view. Make me want to watch it. Do I blame Bayley or Belair for this? No.
I mean, the fact that Bayley got serious at the end of the interview kind of like grabbed my attention. I was just like, well, she's not laughing at Bianca anymore. Maybe we can see like a serious Bayley, and maybe we might actually get a half decent match tonight. But I've not got my hopes up.
That'd be nice.
Would be.
I would not say no to that. No, I would be happy to watch that.
Then we had Shinsuke Nakamura versus Corbin. And I personally liked the King versus King thing, to be honest, that they started talking about. But if Corbin lost this match, it just took away from what King of the Ring actually stood for. And well, Corbin didn't lose the match.
To be honest, I thought
he lost a bit of his dignity afterwards.
I personally think this made Nakamura look a bit bad.
Yes.
Because
it looked cheap.
Yeah, also he's a face. Why is he taking shit?
I mean, if they're trying to turn him heel, I'm all for it. Because some of his best work so far has been as a heel.
They've only just finished turning him face.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just getting whiplash with his character, to be honest.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, Shinsuke got a bit of revenge. Fair play to him. Putting on Corbin's crown, the way that he did it, I actually kind of liked. Because he made it seem like really heavy, and I was just like, okay, yeah, I can see what he's doing here. Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt Nakamura can do these things because he can. Also, I liked him trying it on backstage later as well. That was kind of funny, and posing in front of the mirror. That was very much Nakamura, but
I mean, I'd like to see maybe a crown on a pole match. or something like that. I could see it happening maybe next week on SmackDown. Be
I
funny.
have actually been told something, so I don't know if this is going to end up being official or not, if it's going to happen. Apparently, there is going to be King of the Ring.
The King of the Ring tournament.
And apparently, this is why this is happening.
Oh, I'd like that. And I'd like Corbin to be knocked out first round.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know this for sure, but it's something I've been told may happen.
I mean, I'm all for that. I'm a fan of tournaments. I loved the NXT UK tournament, the Cruiserweight Classic, Mae Young Classic as well. Like both gender, like tournaments. I find amazing.
Hang on, did you say both gender?
Gender.
Okay, just checking. But yeah, that's what I've been told. This may be a prelude to it is a King of the Ring tournament, and that's why this happened. With him taking the crown, I mean.
So taking crown, we go from that to the Apollo segment.
Well, I did touch upon this. This is literally where Pierce tells him he's in a 4-way next week.
I had a note on this and I didn't realise it until I turned the page. Apollo's accent slipped.
What do you mean?
Very noticeable.
You mean like what yours does?
Yeah. He actually stopped talking, looked at Adam in a kind of like, and then restarted his sentence. And for those of you who didn't notice, shame on you. And it was hilarious. I was just like, oh no.
To be fair though, if you're not used to doing accents, I mean, for those of you who don't know, I do voice acting, so I'm used to putting on voices. So if you're not used to doing
his normal
voice, you're not used to doing that, that's hard.
Yeah, this isn't even Peter's normal voice. This is all put on. You should hear what he really sounds like.
I sound like this. Hello, lovelies. How you doing?
Yeah. Modern day Edwina Curry.
Oh, you want Edwina Curry? Hello, darlings. Welcome to my show.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
I'd say Bruce Forsyth, but I'm not going to push it.
Oh, good game, good game. Nice to see you. Nice. Yeah.
But yeah, after that we had the black segment.
Hey, don't be racist.
I actually noticed something that I'm not sure a lot of people actually notice. In his little character building segment, he actually mentioned the architect. So maybe he's coming back because he said he helped. He wants to help an architect. So maybe we're going to see Black return to fight Seth or possibly join him.
Well, it can't be Seth because Seth now has a vision.
Yeah, but he's been referred to as many things, hasn't he?
That is true.
So, which brings us to the end of the show. And Jimmy versus Cesaro.
Yeah.
And I like the way this storyline's going. I mean, especially if we get Jimmy versus Roman after Backlash is over.
I do
whether or not Cesaro takes the title or not, to be honest.
I do have an issue with the end of this match, right?
Mm.
Officially, it was listed as no contest. Right? Why isn't Cesaro winning by disqualification? He got attacked by Reigns.
Probably got Paul Heyman to blame for it. But yeah, I mean, overall, I scored this week's SmackDown an 8. So I thought it was actually better than NXT, if I'm honest. Sure, the match, the Women's Tag Team Championship match, should have been tonight, or it should have happened. There'd been a disqualification, and then it been the actual match where they won. tonight or whatever. But yeah, are you chasing a butterfly?
No.
Spider?
No. I'll be back in a sec. It's just I've noticed something and I need to move stuff, otherwise there could be an issue.
Okay.
So. Sorry about that. Yeah, got water coming and got water dripping through the ceiling, and it was dropping on where my camera would be.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, I just moved all my camera stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll see to the rest of it when we're done, but that I did need to move. But yeah, that was essentially it for as far as SmackDown goes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was pretty fair.
So yeah.
Okay.
I can see why you rated it higher than NXT.
Yeah. It gave the overall week a rating of 7.75, which is, not great, but good.
Yeah.
And obviously you had NXT UK, which was just pretty damn good, except for a couple of bits.
Exactly.
I'm looking forward to seeing Trent Seven versus I can't remember his name.
Well, before we get to that stuff, we do have something to cover though, which is our Backlash predictions.
Yeah. Oh, Grandful? Grandelwald? Can't remember. But also, Noam Dar is hosting Supernova Sessions next week with Ilya Dragunov as a special guest. So yeah.
Can I have a match, please?
I don't know. How much of Dar do you want left afterwards?
Yeah, it'd be a good match though.
Not gonna lie, I'd like to see Dragunov versus Shah Samuels.
Yeah, that works for me too.
Or a 2-on-1 match. See how much anger he can get out there.
Yeah.
I can see that working quite well.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can see it working too.
So, predictions or possible spoilers, depending if you're a full naming guy.
Right. I have 6 matches in total, and this is as of I got this from last night, which would have been the 15th of May. Obviously, there may be other stuff added later, but this should be too late by then, so we can't judge for those. So 6 matches. Start with the first thing I have, which is the Lumberjack match between Damian Priest and The Miz.
Priest.
I agree.
And if it's not, I do not know how.
Simply because it needs to be, is the honest answer.
Not only that, it's just I want to see Miz get his face pummeled, whether it's by the Lumberjacks or not.
Yeah. Fair enough. Next thing I have is the Dirty Dogs defending their tag titles against the Mysterios.
Mysterios. Just because of the hype that's been building up around them.
Yeah. Also, the Dogs have held this for quite a while, not done anything with them. So, yeah, I think you're probably right.
Yep.
Let's see. Who do we have next? The Raw Women's Title Triple Threat match. Rhea Ripley versus Asuka versus Charlotte Flair.
Hate to say it, but Flair.
Yeah. Pretty much the same.
Flair or Ripley retains.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing you just said. Flair, unfortunately. And it's nothing to do with Charlotte. I just think it's really badly booked.
Oh, join the club. And I can see her pinning Oscar and not Rhea as well.
Yeah. Which on the upside at least gives Rhea oi, you didn't pin me to win that title. I want my match. So at least it gives you something to work with if that's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Now we have Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre versus Braun Strowman. Universal title, WWE title match, sorry.
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I want to say McIntyre, but I can see Lashley retaining.
Yeah, I think it's Lashley. So then we have Bianca Belair defending her SmackDown Women's title against Bayley.
I don't know. I want Belair, but I think Bayley.
Yeah, I think they're going to do the dick thing and give it to Bayley. Yeah, and there's nothing against Bayley, but that's just the way WWE booking works.
But I'm going to say Belair.
That's fair enough. I think it'll be Bayley simply because WWE have not used her in any matches for a few months, so it sounds like WWE's method of getting people titles.
Yeah.
And last but not least, the Universal title match. Roman Reigns defends the title against Cesaro.
I want Cesaro.
Is that your prediction?
Feels more like a spoiler if you ask me.
Okay, I think it's Reigns.
I want Cesaro, but I do think it's going to be Reigns.
Yeah. Oh, I'm with you. I'd like it to be Cesaro, but I don't think it's going to be.
Yeah. That's my phone.
So, yeah, there we go. So that's those matches covered.
Sweet.
So those are the predictions, and obviously we covered and reviewed everything. Yeah. I think we've actually touched upon everything as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can think of that you'd like to discuss that we haven't covered?
Nope.
Cool. Okay. Means it looks like we're going to be done early, which is interesting.
I've just got my stream to get on with.
Exactly. So we've got stuff to right. So in that case, people, let us know what you think and who you reckon will win or lose. And any questions and stuff, obviously, you guys let us know. In the meantime, of course, you can find Aaron with his Just Giving page for UK Anxiety this month, where he's trying something new every day.
Yep. And for the first time tonight, I will be streaming Call of Duty.
Yes. This is the thing where you'll be able to catch Aaron on literally as we finish here. You'll be able to catch him on his Twitch stream. Link is in the description for people who need it. Okay, so if you're on Twitch, just look for this name here.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be able to find it there. Not a problem at all.
It's actually changed. It's caring with colours at the bottom.
Like it says here next. Like it says to.
Yeah. Like it says right there.
There you go. With Aaron's name. Yeah, cool. Yeah, we'll update the graphic at some point.
I got a notification come through that I could change my username because the username I first tried to pick up become available. So I jumped at the chance, changed it, and it's now that.
Well, it's more consistent with everything else. It makes sense.
Yeah. People were calling me Karen W colours, and now they call me Karen with colours. It just rolls off the tongue a little bit better.
Well, grammatically, it's just a chance for people, I think, which helps.
Yeah.
So, other thing, people, of course, is you can catch us on our Twitter, which is here. So, hashtag 50/50 booking for anything for this show. Same thing for the Instagram here. Check it out there. And for those of you who wish to help and support us and do our other content, you have a Patreon here. Links, all this stuff is in the description down below. And for those of you who want to get in touch with me for my actual work, we have my photography website here for my photography work, weddings and events and stuff. Particularly people in England, as of Monday, of course, weddings and events are back to like almost normality. So taking bookings for stuff as well. Obviously from June rather, we are completely back to normal unless something changes.
Yep.
And I think we've pretty much covered everything at this point. So literally as we finish, go check out Aaron over on his Twitch. Or maybe give him about 5 minutes so we can sort stuff out and then go check him out when he's ready.
Yeah.
And as Aaron points out, he'll be doing Call of Duty, and you guys can go see how it goes and say hello and get involved.
Yep.
So with that, people, we're just going to give you a see you later, and hopefully we won't suffer a backlash from Backlash.
Wishful thinking.
So see you all later, people.